Hello everyone, my name is Matthew Kiwior and this is my design project presentation. So the potential product that's being proposed. So the product that we came up with in our group for this class was essentially going to be an app that would be used as peer tutoring for students enrolled in colleges and university. So oftentimes students can wonder when it comes to an assignment whether that be like, a presentation or an essay or just a general assignment, what are the standards, what is considered to be quality work? How can I achieve, the highest grade I can? I'm putting in all this effort, I'm putting in all this time, and sometimes, that doesn't work out. So what better way to figure out how to complete this assignment than to receive videos or from previous students, alumni that have enrolled in the course and have already received their grade, and you can look at their work and see what's the standard by the professors that they consider quality, A+ work. So video submissions must have outstanding work to be considered to be put on this app, and videos must be approved to be considered reliable. So whether that be from an upper management, whoever runs the app, your professors, and obviously the demographic that we're aiming towards is students enrolled in colleges and universities. But this could even be looked at, if something like this were to be effective, this could be even looked at in lower levels of education like high school or middle school. So the questions that to be raised, so the two questions that I came up with when it came to this app and the concerns that I have was, how can we ensure that students are just not going to directly copy material or certain parts of the original creator's assignments? So in other words, how can we ensure there's originality with assignments? So when it comes to, I'm thinking of something like a math class, or maybe it's a computer programming class, where a lot of the times the assignments can have, concrete, only one kind of solution to the problem, or to the answer to the question. How can we ensure that students will be able to just not copy material and be able to learn the material on their own, to really be able to understand and grasp it rather than just copy and paste? And then the second question I came up with was, how can we ensure that a balance between using this app and needing a professor for help and questions? So obviously this app can provide tons of benefits. It can be very helpful and a very valuable resource for students, but something that I was thinking about was, with this app, if every course eventually has, some kind of assignment, or potentially all assignments for every course are posted on this website, what could be the need for needing to go to a professor for help, or what would be even the need to go to lecture if everything is posted on this app? So the pressing questions. So the bulk of my research topic is going to be in connection to question number 2. So this application, obviously, like I said, it can be useful, beneficial for students in many ways, but at what point will students become too reliable on this resource? And like I said, if every assignment for all classes has a video tutorial or a template for, this may not be the need for professors or even TAs for help and assistance. We may not need to go to lecture because every assignment is going to be posted potentially on this app. There would be no need to, talk to professors for help, or even your classmates, or engage in, conversations about assignments. And if you also think about some professors, they'll lay out the whole semester, the whole layout for the course. They'll post, week by week what's going to be learned and, what the assignments are going to be and everything. So students can, look at the syllabus, and then if every assignment is posted on this app, they can go there and they'll get a head start, and they won't really grasp or understand the material. And then, will engagement in classrooms and lectures be affected by a reliance on digital learning tools? So my research study. The official title of my research study is called Technology Enhanced Learning in Higher Education, Motivations, Engagement, and Academic Achievement. So this article was published in 2019 and essentially looks at this concept called technology enhanced learning, which for the purpose of this presentation we are going to refer to as TEL, and this can be defined as any form of e-learning and can be used to refer to technology enhanced classrooms and learning with technology. So this has obviously become a very popular tool and resource amongst universities and colleges, and the authors are particularly focusing more in the UK when it comes to this, but this can really be looked at in almost any higher level institution or any kind of level of schooling, and this in 2023. TEL has both positive and negative effects when it comes to student learning. And one quote from this article that really stood out to me, that goes in connection with the product that's being proposed here, is research suggests that TEL in the UK is for the most part considered to be a vessel for additional learning. In other words, TEL is placed alongside traditional lectures and seminars and functions to complement core learning. So, an online app like this, or an online resource that is going to post previous assignments for students to use, it should be looked at as a supplement, essentially, to traditional lectures and traditional in-classroom learning. It should not be the sole resource that students should be relying on when it comes to completing their assignments. And there's like I said, there's many benefits to using something like TEL, because it can allow students to, explore material at their own pace and align with their own interests and beliefs. And the authors particularly wanted to look at 3 levels of behavioral engagement when it came to this research study. Those 3 things are emotional engagement, cognitive, and behavioral. The authors also wanted to look at TEL when it comes to behavioral engagement. So behavioral engagement is essentially like things like being punctual when it comes to, attending lectures and completing assignments, active participation in class, and showing up to class on time. So the major findings of this research project. So essentially, the research question that was proposed by the authors was, for the purpose of the study is to compare the relative predictive power of usage of and engagement with TEL on academic achievement in the context of student motivation levels. So the study was conducted in 2016 in a higher level university in the United Kingdom and consisted of 16,150 undergraduate students. The students were asked to complete a survey on a website that consisted of 25 items, and it was a questionnaire that was essentially measured 5 different levels of learning motivation, and those were intrinsic, career, self-determination, self-efficacy, and grade motivation. They were asked to rate their level of how much they agree with this learning motivation on a scale of 1 to 5. There was also a 7-item scale that was developed to measure the 3 levels of TEL, which was cognitive, behavioral, and emotional engagement when it comes to TEL. This is just the picture of the diagram that they used to conduct the study that I wanted to include in this thing. So before we discuss the limitations, the overarching results of the study was engagement with TEL is based on cognitive, behavioral, and emotional components, and there's many positive results that come to using this thing. However, TEL as itself should not be the sole resource to be used amongst universities. In order for it to be effective, students have to be intrinsically or grade-based, motivated in order for online learning and TEL resources to be considered effective. So, like I said, students have to be already motivated in order for it to be effective. That was the main overarching finding of this study. So, some of the limitations that came with the article. So, a high portion of the students were female, approximately 85%, which the authors claim is common because they were mostly examining social science majors. But they also stated, however, this does not mean that it may be difficult to generalize the findings to other students with a greater proportion of male students. One of the first limitation that they discussed was causality was hard to determine, and there was a bias against the students when they were rating the levels of motivation on 1 to 10 because it was based solely off their grades and how they were performing in school. So oftentimes students can, forget how well they're doing in courses, or there's biases against how students can be, and students can even lie about their own grades. So effectiveness for users. So this is partially my proposed solution to how to make this app more effective. So my proposed solution was, if you're going to have this app and have it as a resource, there needs to be obviously a limitation into how many assignments can be posted and how much students can use this resource. So essentially I was thinking if this app were to be created and it becomes a very popular resource amongst universities and colleges and everybody knows about it, everybody uses it, professors know about it, they encourage it, but there should be every professor in their syllabus should essentially establish rules and guidelines when it comes to using this app. So for certain assignments, professors, they can encourage, they can limit, or completely restrict students on use depending on the the level of creativity that needs to be embedded into each assignment. It should, students should be encouraged to have originality and creativity when it comes to specific assignments, like a paper or a presentation. More specifically, those require more of those things. It's like and then if assignment like a math problem or program assignments that only have one concrete solution or answer, this should require, more restrictions, I think. And, there should be more students. I'm sorry. If there was one concrete solution or answer, there should be more encouragement and have fewer restrictions when it comes to using this app. So it should be the opposite of when it comes to something like a paper or presentation that requires more originality. The math problems and more concrete assignments should have more encouragement when it comes to using that, because it's hard to really ensure creativity and originality when it comes to those types of assignments. And this is the end of my project. Thank you.